Hello, this is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this presentation. I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about the idea that God might play? So, if you've never thought about that, part of my reflection today and what I was sort of meditating on this morning is the idea of God at play, and it was triggered by one of the scriptures that I read. I'll read part of that right now, and this is from Proverbs 8, and it's really wisdom personified as a person. And so wisdom is speaking here. I was by his side, a master craftsman, delighting him day by day, ever at play in his presence, at play everywhere in the world, delighting to be with the sons of men. So when I was thinking about that, the idea of this, the idea there is that wisdom is kind of, as I mentioned, personified as a real person, but it's also an aspect of God that is being described in all this wisdom literature. And so it got me to thinking about, well, what does it mean that wisdom was at play? And got me to thinking about, well, what does it mean? What would it mean if God was at play? And so as I thought about that more, I remembered that one of the things that I often instruct patients to do as part of their wellness strategy to decrease chronic stress is to play. And one of the things that adults don't do very well is play. We often don't take time out to play. And when we do play, we play electronically, which actually increases our stress levels. So I got to thinking about how the play of God is creativity, and the play of God is experiencing creation in a way that is absorbing the awesomeness of creation. And God, it describes in other places that God is delighted by certain things, and certain things we do can delight God. So even though God is way beyond us, these words describe something that feels like emotion being described. And so the question is, how can we play in a way that makes us connect with God? If God is at play in the world by his creativity, in other words, it's not a game, it's something that is intensely enjoyed. If you've ever watched little children play, it's very unlikely that you're going to see a big frown on their face. More likely you're going to see intense concentration, or you're going to see a smile. And if you watch adults at play, they are often with other people playing, and very, very often it's going to be very pleasant feelings that are being expressed, happiness, laughter, things like that. And adults that are playing by themselves, they are often absorbed, they're peaceful. Very, very infrequent that an adult at play is going to be frowning and unhappy. So the way that we can imitate God at play, I think, is part of us being well. And God at play, I think, is his creativity. When he is being creative, he is at play, I think. So I remember years ago when I first introduced a picture about Jesus laughing and put it on the wall. It was during a time when people were kind of investigating the concept that Jesus actually laughed at times and that he wasn't always very serious. And initially, I remember one patient that was really offended by that picture, and then she went home and started thinking about it. And then at every office visit after that, she would bring me a joke, because it really got to her that Jesus actually did laugh. And I think that God laughs, and because he's enjoying creation, he's enjoying us, he's enjoying being creative in our lives. And so God being creative in our lives is God at play. And so the point is that it takes me away from this idea of God as being this very serious taskmaster to somebody that is really enjoying the moment. And so I encourage you and me to discover God at play in my day by looking for the areas that God is creatively at work. So isn't that funny? We say God's at work sometimes, but it's hard to say God is at play because we think, oh, that's not serious enough. But for God and for us, play should be creative. It should be community building. And when we're doing that, we're actually imitating God at play. So I hope that this reflection spurs you on to a deeper experience of God, as it did me as I thought about this more today through the day. So I wish you well. God bless and have a great day.